Hey guys, so we're back, and a nice picture of the ass lady on the porn comic that I was talking about before. So this is the stack of various comic books and graphic novels and things that I've read in the past month and a half in preparing for my trip. I want to stress that for the most part, all of these different categories that I discussed in my main entry for this portion of my Spanish learning blog, I did not read them in a specific order. Basically, I go to this bookstore in Union Square in Manhattan called The Strand all the time, like once or twice a week, and they have some just shelves and shelves outside with 48-cent and $1 and $2 books of all kinds. And if you go there enough, pretty much anything you're interested in the whole world, if you're interested in, cardiothoracic surgery, you're going to find books on that eventually. I happen to be interested in languages, and in particular, Spanish is one of the ones I've always wanted to learn. As you guys have read in my blog, I haven't really spent much time on it until the past month and a half. Anyway, so you guys don't have to focus too much on the ass lady. I'll let you guys look at the Hulk while I'm talking. But at any rate, over the past however many years, when I knew I wanted to learn Spanish, even if I wasn't working on it, every time I see a book for 48 cents or $1 or $2 or whatever, if I think it's good, I just buy it. I have a very large budget for myself each month for educational resources, and because I have an eBay and an Amazon stores, I resell just as much as I buy for myself. Usually when I'm done reading something, unless it's changed my life, I resell it and I make the money back. Sometimes I make enormous profits on things because sometimes I get a book for $1 and I sell it for like $89 or something like that. But that's a whole other story. Anyway, without digressing too much, let's take a look very briefly at some of the comic books. First of all, the ones I'm holding in my hand here, these are just various $1.25 Spanish porn comics. Let's see if we can find a good juicy page with some booby lady or something like that, just to show you guys. These I pick up in the subway, at the subway stations. You can see there's some risque stuff. There's just the PG rated. We'll let it go with this. You can see the artwork is quite alluring. I find these books good because I find women very attractive, and everybody who likes action movies loves good sex and violence action movies. It's we could get into a whole discussion of whether that's good for people and et cetera, et cetera. But the point is, people like it, and if they didn't like it, they wouldn't sell it. And these are really fun to read. The Spanish, quite honestly, is way above my level. It's like super duper advanced Spanish, and it has a lot of slang about sex and violence and things. I don't really understand a lot of it. I would say in these books, I'm lucky if I understand 50% of it, sometimes much less. Some of them I understand more, like these are Western ones, and the Western ones I understand a little bit more because they're more kind of a good story. There's always someone that's avenging the death of his older brother or something like that. The artwork is really good as far as comic book artwork goes. I enjoy that. I'm a Marvel Comics fan, so at this comic book warehouse that I go to in Brooklyn, here's a shameless plug for it. It's called Joe Koch Comic Book Warehouse, Koch Comics. It's located on 41st Street and 2nd Avenue in Sunset Park in Brooklyn. I'm not sure what the zip code is, but he has over 1 million back issues of comics, and he has in his dollar aisle happens to have a whole bunch of Mexican comics, and I picked up, I think, something like 20 or 30 discrete different issues that he had by flipping through what he had. So here's a couple of the Hulk. The artwork is really good. It's standard Marvel artwork. It just has the bubbles replaced with Spanish instead of English. These are actual U.S. issued Marvel comic books for the most part that have just been repackaged with Mexican Spanish writing as opposed to the original English. This one is really good. That was the Los Cuatro Fantásticos, the Fantastic Four. This is Los Vengadores, the Avengers. This is a really good issue, actually. This is the issue where Miss Marvel gets pregnant and she has a baby, and it's like this superhuman baby that ages super fast, and it causes all the other Avengers to reconsider their meaning in the scope of the universe. And so it's very well written. I'm sure it was well written in English. I never read it in English, though. It's Avengers number 200, but it is very good in Spanish. Here's some DC stuff. Superman, La Última Batalla. de Nuevo Krypton, right? And here's Injustice. This is a really brutal Joker Batman story involving Superman where the Joker kills Lois Lane. I'm not sure what happens with that, but certainly caught my attention. Here's some older El Sorprendente Hombre Araña. And this is these are some Spider-Man comic books from the 70s. These are Mexican issue. These are really cool. I collect actually Bronze Age comic books for those of you who know what that is. So for me, this is like, I'm happier than a pig in poop while I'm reading these. These are really great. The cover artwork is but the inside artwork is pretty amazing on these. I'm not going to open these up just because these are bagged and boarded and I already put them away. Here's some Batmans also from the early 70s. And this is good stuff. I mean, for those of you who know about Batman in English, this is a Denny O'Neil book. He's a really good writer, and he wrote a lot of Batman stuff. Green Arrow, Green Lantern, all that kind of stuff. It's really fun to read these in Spanish. This is a sort of a compilation periodical, I guess, that came out. I think this one is from Argentina. I don't remember. But this one was really cool because it has a Spanish, Central American Spanish reprint of the very famous Death of Captain Stacy issue of Spider-Man from the late 60s, upon which story a portion of the newest Spider-Man remake with... what's the guy's name? Andrew something. The newer Spider-Man guy, not Tobey Maguire, but the other guy. Anyway, the Death of Captain Stacy, actually, that story features in that movie, and this magazine contains a Spanish version of that original story from 1968, I think, which is really cool. This is Caperucita Roja, which is Little Red Riding Hood in Spanish. The artwork in this is phenomenal. It's very cute. This is not like a comic book. This is like a kid's cartoon comic book. But it's really, really fun, and I picked this up at the Strand for like $1, and it's really great. This is one of my new favorites. This is Condorito. And Condorito is a Central American character. He is a cab driver, among other things. He has a very sexy girlfriend. And very bizarrely, he's like a condor. He's like this dude. He looks like a turkey, basically. And somehow everyone around him is human. And like, it just doesn't... They don't notice that, like, this voluptuous lady has, like, a condor dressed up like a human for his boyfriend. There's the voluptuous lady right there, Yayita, and this is Condorito. He's her boyfriend. It's very strange. But these are cute, and at the end of each Condorito cartoon, most of them are a page long, some are even shorter, but at the end of each one, you see this. There's a one-liner, like, ba-dum-bum-bum, and then you see this, it says plop. And basically the other guy that Condorito was talking to, or somebody was talking to him, flips over on their chair and their legs are up in the air. And I guess that's like kind of Mexican humor or Central American humor or something. But it's very charming and it's really fun to read. I would say I understand about 60 to 70% of this stuff. There's a lot of jokes in here that I definitely don't understand. But these are great, and I picked these up for anywhere from like $1.50 to $2.75. Usually I get them in the Subway in Manhattan or at different periodical news magazine stores around town. And last but not least, in my recent... graphic novels, I did read a Spanish translation of this, which is, I think originally was a French bande dessinée, an oversized hardcover French comic book, which is the format that most of their comic books are published in. This is Zombilenium, and this is the first in that series about this witch named Gretchen and sort of the different characters. Basically, it's an amusement park run by monsters, but the humans who visit the amusement park have no idea that it's real monsters. They just think it's really cute rides and like really neat people dressed like vampires and mummies and stuff, but it's actually real vampires and mummies and werewolves and things. So this is a lot of good artwork, not so much text, but the text is in Spanish, and it was fun, and I was able to follow probably like 75 to 80% of the details of the story, but I missed out a little bit, but the pictures helped to cover, so maybe even more than that. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's my comic book stuff. I'm going to do another section in just a second on some of the other resources I've been studying.